Hello there, welcome back to Simon's Shed. Hope you're all well. It's time for another Thomas and Friends loco review in N-Gauge. Yes, we're having a look at another loco from the Tomix Thomas and Friends range, and as I'm sure you can tell, today it's the turn of Percy and his Sodor mail truck, product code 93808. And again, a lot of Japanese text that I can't read, so we won't worry about that. We'll just dive straight into the box and take a look at Percy. Okay, so the first thing we notice is along there we get three little faces. Show you a close-up of that. So we've got interchangeable faces for Percy, which is a nice touch. And the mail truck, no, it's doing that again, right. I really should have sorted that. And Percy himself, so currently wearing that expression. So I think what we'll do is try and get it to focus first of all, get some closer shots and take a look. Okay, that's better. We can see little 040, tiny little wheels. He's looking a bit grumpy at the moment. Not sure whether you just carefully pull off a headless Percy. So I think, well, what shall we do? Let's go for Happy Percy. There we go. That's better. So that's a nice little touch, and I know a lot of people make Thomas and Friends videos on YouTube, and that would certainly help with that if you could interchange the face. So we've got, obviously because it's such a tiny little model, we've got something in the cab there, part of the workings, probably part of the motor or the gearbox blocking the view of the cab. We've got a little cobalt load, nice little lamp on the back there, and we got rapido couplings, and some little whistle detail on top. So that's Percy, and in this one you also get the Sodor mail truck, and got some sort of moulded detail on there, and plastic wheels. And ignore the dog howling in the background. I think what we need to do is give Percy a run on the little test track. Now, I know he had a lot of trouble with James, or certainly with James's troublesome trucks, so it'll be interesting to see how we get on this time, especially with a 040 loco. I don't think I've ever run an 040 before in N-Gauge. So it'll be interesting to see, with only 4 wheels on the track, how that works in terms of power and smoothness. only one way to find out. Okay, here he goes. Oh, he stopped on the point. You know what, that was pretty good for an 040. Let's reverse it. It's pretty smooth. I'm actually quite impressed with that. It's just that point has a bit of a dead zone, and with not many wheels, it's going to be tricky, isn't it? Now I haven't cleaned the track, so this is quite a tough test for it. But yeah, I might need to do that. Oh, he doesn't like the point, does he? Okay, so let's give the track a clean and give him a bit of a fairer test. So the track was quite dirty, as you can see, and actually one of the joiners has come out again. Yeah, one of the rails had popped out, so it wasn't actually getting any power. So let's start him off. I don't know which way he's facing, from over there. See if we can make it over the point. Yes! Well done, Percy. Kind of have to keep him going at that speed to make it over the point. Obviously if you've got electro frog points, this shouldn't be much of an issue, but there's a particularly big dead spot. Well, a big dead spot if you're a tiny little engine like Percy, so that's why it's doing that. Definitely does seem to be an issue with these inshore frog points. You can see it's got power there, you can hear it, and it's got power there. It's just that tiny little bit there in between where both sets of wheels are on the frog. So it's cured by swapping out to an electro frog point where the whole thing's live, but with an inshore frog. Poor little Percy is going to keep stopping. It's literally a few millimeters, but we can still hook him up to the Sodor mail truck and give him a few laps pulling that. That's pretty good slow speed running. Come on, Percy. There we go. And yes, a bit of speed. And he's over the point. There we are, Percy making sure Sodor gets its mail on time, working very hard, punching above his weight for such a tiny little engine, and the Sodor mail truck seems a lot happier running around this track than James's troublesome trucks. So yeah, maybe they were just very troublesome. So, Percy and his mail truck from the Tomix Thomas & Friends N-Gauge range. Excellent runner for a little 040, and really like the interchangeable faces. So well done, Percy. I'll see you next time for another Thomas & Friends review. Until then, please subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you soon.